And that's what them guys in that box is doing. You know, how can you embrace death? Can you embrace it knowing it's coming? You don't know. You know, the same way Cadillac got his, could have been any one of us. Any one of us, man. They just wanted him bad than any one of us. That's all. But we embrace that. We know it's coming. We know it's coming, but we don't know when. But what we did, we embraced it. It's a friend. It's a friend to come off this pressure. It's a friend, we ain't got to do this no more. You know what I mean? So when it's coming, bring it. You know, that's to embrace that. So it's never coming. It's never came. You can't get back from it. And a lot of us, we couldn't get back. You know, we let it go. In other words, man, the life is gone. You know, I already gave it up. I gave it up. But a lot of us can't crawl the way back, and a lot of us did. They gave it up for that moment. And since it never happened, they crawled their way back and held on to it. But I seen a lot of good men. They went out there, they gave it up, they couldn't get back. You talking about the people. They couldn't get back. So they couldn't survive. Coming out the box, they couldn't survive. They couldn't survive. They wound up somebody killing them, or they wound up killing somebody. And they got a lot of good brothers, man, still there from what they did, man, 35, 40 years ago. Still there, man. Come in with 10 years, come in with 6 years. I know a guy came in with 6 years, a 6-year UFAC. You know when you went up for parole with a 6-year UFAC, man? You went up to 60 days, man. You know, you went up to 60 days, man. You see the parole board in 60 days. You don't do no more than 18 months. He started out with 60, zip 6, they call them zip 6s. Zip 6. He wound up spending 40 years and he's still there. Because he went out there, he couldn't find his way back. You know. So that ADX, that's a hell of a program we got. You know, that mind control, hell of a program we got. And it's still in effect. But now, at least they had a safety net for us. They had a safety net for us. But the young guys coming out of ADX now, the only safety net they have is themselves, man. Because they got to be the one to embrace humanity. They the one got to embrace themselves. They can't let that human element in them go. Because, man, once you let it go, man, creation, man, don't even matter, man. It's not even an option. Creation, man, you better get on. I'm the creator. I mean, that's how you think. You know, it's a shame, but that's how it is. Now, when a person starts thinking like that, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. You know, but the pressures from the program, that's what it is, the indoctrination program. The pressures from the program. It was intent designed to destroy. You know, but the strong man though, and you got many, went through the program, said, that's what you got? Teach me. Teach me. You see what I'm saying? And they taught it. They taught it, and they got it. They can't beat them no more. That what you got?
With youth younger and younger being charged with more serious crimes, what's needed in the community to help swerve gang violence, peer pressure, and youth feeling hopeless?
Man, it's all the education process, man. You know, the difference between now and then, we humble ourselves for lessons. There's nothing a person can do to lead a person to himself unless he's willing. Unless he's willing. You see what I'm saying? To be led. I can't understand now. They my peers, and I care about them, you know. And the thing is, I can't understand how ignorance would not allow a person to humble himself and receive information. That's the difference between now and then. When I was coming, you had people, you had men, even under those conditions. He said, man, come here. I don't care how tough you was, man. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever. Not just in prison, but on the street. You see, kids, they respect it, man. They respect the principle because they know if it's not implemented properly, you see, you know what I mean? That one person gonna grow up, you know, that can destroy a nation with the way he is thinking. So what they did, they ran the kids off the street. Said, man, don't come down here, man. Man, what you doing, man? Oh, man, I'm just looking, man, come here. You see what I'm saying? You know, they used to run me down and take me to school. Because I was one of the persons, man, that I used to hate going to school. I did anything, man, not to go to school. I sit in the street, cried and everything, because I hated school. You know, because my interest in school and what they was teaching way back then, it just didn't sound right. So I used to go down on the corner, be watching the hustlers and stuff like that. And they had certain dudes, they knew our people. They knew my people. They used to run me down, take me to school and all types of stuff. Even when I was real, you know, when we was living on an army base up here, you know, I used to hate going to school. Hate it, you know. But the point is, though, you know, they made us humble ourselves to receive the information. They did not allow disinformation to take root in the understanding of who you are and where you're going at that particular time. Even though they was out there hustling and doing it, it was a conscious thing going on, man. We talk about pre-ride now, pre-1968. You know, even a little bit after, it was pre. You know, I mean, it was a conscious thing going on. And the conscious thing is, listen, you got to learn who you is. You got to learn who your people is. Then you got to learn where we going, man. You know, and that was the thing. So it was no division. It was less division because everybody was connected. Even though, man, you know, if I did something to you, don't you know, it would take for the peers in the community, man, to actually, I had to really jump out there and continuously jump out there before, man, all y'all got together and said, man, they gotta go. Because I'm so vicious that, man, you know, I'm just violating all rules, you know. And it took the neighborhood to even come to a consensus for that. Say, nah, you can't do that. We didn't do that. Even God, what we did. You see what I'm saying? Say, man, leave me alone, man. You know, but if I kept on doing it, you just couldn't jump up and say, man, you know, nah, you know. You had to consult with him, you had to consult with her, you got to consult with him. You see what I'm saying? Until everybody got tired and they said, man, get rid of his ass, man. You know. But now, you know, there's no information getting across, man. And that's what I see. They come to prison the same way, man. You know. How can you be something? And how can you even do something if you don't understand who you are and what you're trying to be or what you're trying to do? How can you, man? You know, but I'm acting in a way that I know everything. then he got a hate thing going on. Man, my elders wasn't having it, man. Disrespectful, wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. I don't care what an elder did. I don't care how he cared. See, it wasn't, no. In other words, it was principles taught. Now, how that person received those principles in the measure of understanding how he implemented those principles in his life towards his own people, but first towards himself. First towards himself, then towards his own people, which is his family, and all the way out to the community. It was key, and they weren't having it. That's why we overcame the conditions and the trials and tribulations that we had back then. You can't even measure, So they knew what they were doing. You know what they did? What they did, they watered down our initiative to create for ourselves. Now, when we didn't have anything, so I can remember. I can remember when I couldn't go, let alone in prison, but I can remember when I couldn't sleep with them, eat with them, even get the hotel room. They was so that we had to go through the back door when I was a kid. I can remember that. That's the pleasures that I received. Those lessons right there, to be able to see the changes throughout the ages that take place. And you know what? Pre-1968, all the way up to post-1968 is worse. That's my opinion. Why is worse? Because, man, our initiative to create was watered down. 68, we was hungry. We was hungry, not just for materialistic stuff. We was hungry, to exercise the principles and using those principles to rise above. And we rose above. But he knew what it was to water it down. Materialistic gain. Give it to him and watch him fight for it. And that's what I see, man. And when those materialistic things was accumulated, and here it is, I put my whole concept of who that God is on those materialistic things, and those things was my God. That money was my God. You know what I mean? And that was the downfall right there. That's how my prison history began. Out of ignorance, man.
So let's move the question now to your final bid, and how has it been when you transition back into society now? Right
now, like I said again, education is the factor, man. It's the factor, man. The difference is, hey, I was just as ignorant as the next man. But my experiences taught me some lessons, and I took heed to those lessons, because if I did not take heed to those lessons, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So I was more or less on the drive train. I couldn't make no mistakes. So I had to take those lessons and learn those lessons. And education was the key. Every man that can tell you, even when I was a little boy, every man I can tell you in the BOP, man, they were giving out grants free. Everything was free. The Pell Grant, all that was free. You go to college free. You get your Pell, go to college, and do nothing. Next year you get another Pell. But we wasn't even using the Pell. We wasn't using the education that was provided to be educated by did. And they couldn't understand. Say, man, why you acting like that? You going to school, you know what it was? Because I enjoyed myself. I hate to say it like that, man. I got caught up in the culture, but I was smart about it. And they say, man, I can't understand it. I can't understand, man, you intelligent, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't intelligent, I was just as ignorant as the next person. It's just that I had book knowledge, but I was ignorant as the next person, man, because I could not equate the education as the guiding factor of my behavior. And that factor, you know, I just didn't know that, man, I can use that factor and be and do anything that I love to do. I know that now. You know, and that I think is key. Where you come from, where you going. And education is the factor, because, man, we can't put it on everybody else. That's what I learned. I learned you can't put our conditions like this. Yeah, okay. It's like this. But hey, what about you? Even in conditions like this, you still get overcome. You can't use that as an excuse that, man, he's doing that to me, man. Nah. You have the means, whatever going on, you have the means to rise above. Even though it happened. I seen it done from a child, and I seen the transition. The first juvenile institution I was sent to was in Louisiana, man. You know what I mean? And there, you know what they called it? State Industrial School for the Colored Youth. Colored youth. You see what I'm saying? You know, that was my first training ground. You know, so they indoctrinated me to call myself a colored man anyway. I seen that then. I could see. That's why I was acting the way I was acting. I could see, but I just didn't take my education and use it the right way. That what made me ignorant. And that's what's going on now, man. Our youth today, they're some beautiful people, man. Some men, good men. But if they can just humble themselves, man, get that information, man. The information is free. You use the information not to save me. You use the information to save yourself, man. It's about going far, man. Because we got to overcome every condition, man. Don't you know, throughout this life experience, we can count billions, long as you live it. When one condition satisfies itself, another one will take its place. And you got to satisfy that too. It's all about resolution. That is, getting results from the condition that you experience. That's what life is all about. Experiencing circumstances and conditions. But it takes education in order to guide your way through it. But a bad experience, I've learned, a bad experience, like the old people used to, like our elders used to say, boy, if it don't kill you, it can only help you. And it's true. Because you're going to get the best lessons out of it. In other words, take heed to it, man. Every lesson, man. You know, it ain't going to do nothing, make it better, make it smarter. That's all. That's all it is. But a lot of our youth don't see it like that, man. They don't see it like that. I don't see how we can go anywhere or do anything if you don't know nothing. We think we do, because I know I did. I used to think, man, can't tell me nothing, man. You know what I mean? But I found out otherwise, man. You know, a dog can sit right there and bark, man, and give you some information, man. You see what I'm saying? Because the dog can see something you don't see. And he'll let you know there's somebody out there. There's information. You see what I'm saying? So anybody can give, you know, but our youth right now, man, is like, they measure you by images, man. It's an image thing. That's the indoctrination process too. You know what I mean? Over the years, man, they threw them images out there. The images now don't have to have substance. You can just look like $1 million, man, and everybody says, ain't like that. Don't know that past that look is nothing. You know what I mean? But that's what everybody wants. Images is a reflection of what? What appears to be. But that that ain't how we made it, man. And that ain't how we was taught to make it. The thing is, we was taught the difference is back then and now, we didn't care about how you look. We focus on substance, man. Because we ain't had nothing nowhere. That was the whole thing. We fell in the trap, man, trying to look like something. You know, because even in D.C. in the street back, you know, all the hustlers, they look like $1 million. Bought a big old Cadillac. Where they park that junk? In a project somewhere, man. That's backwards, man. You know, you look like $1 million. Got all these, you know, got this gear on. You know, jumping out of caddies. It ain't got nowhere to lay his head, man. But that's how all of us was taught. Got on $500 pair of shoes. Ain't got no money in his pocket to buy a meal. Man, that's just crazy. But that's what's going on. Because we was on images too. But in a different way. But if a person got that information to give, and you don't have to go through that, why not? How many seven get that, man? Because you ain't gonna do no more care the race a little further, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? Our behavior determine, man, whether I'm gonna be around the next 10,000 years. Think about it. You know, if my behavior is dictated towards, you know, destruction, man, my seed ain't gonna be around, you know, maybe next 50 years or 20 years. Because from those lessons, everybody destroying itself. But if you give some substance where everybody can learn from to further their life, to make their life better. And that's how it was back then, man. That was the concept. In prison or out of prison. God didn't have to know. If you was the man, you know, you never spoke to this guy a day in your life. Sitting up there, coming down there, he see you in conflict with anybody. I'm talking about that had a uniform on or whatever, or pale skin. They stop. They stop right there, man. You all right? It don't even know you from a bucket of paint. I experienced it, man. Don't know you from a bucket of paint. Gonna stand there. Say, what's up? And here's a dude you probably didn't like. But on an incident like that, you know what I mean? They gonna stop. Say, man, you all right? Man, nah. What you doing? Well, I'm talking to you talking to me too. Before you know it, everybody's standing there. You know, but now, hey man, fuck, you know. That's the attitude. But where it come from? It come from ignorance, man. Ignorance. Not toward the other person, but toward who I am in the situation. Because if I don't know how to handle the situation, you know, of course I'm gonna play it off on, man. You know, but who I am is not gonna allow me to. Nah, I'm gonna stop. Because I know better. Not only I know better, you know what I mean, I know a way out of that too. You see, you know what I mean? And that's what we gotta learn, man. You know, if we built in hatred, man, with us, among us, that's being taught, man. This learned behavior, man. You know, that's why education is the key. It's learned behavior, man. It's being passed on from generation to generation. And if that learned behavior do not change, man, we ain't gonna be around too much longer. Because you know what? We're gonna destroy ourselves, man. They don't have to do anything no more. They used to throw the rope across the tree, you know. Right? They don't do that no more. They'll pay me to get you out the way. They don't even pull the trigger no more. You know, they'll pay me to pull the trigger for it. You know, instead of, it was a scenario, man. Check this scenario out. Dude, man, trying to get you. Dude come in and say, man, they married right? This is a scenario. You know, you take that. Get that. I said, yeah, but he don't know you my buddy though. You see what I'm saying? I go and say, man, listen, man, dude, man, just gave me this, man. To do that. What's up? No, man, he ain't did that. Yeah. And just because I'm a message bringing, I fuck with you, but you don't fuck with me. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, man, just because you don't mess with me, but I'm bringing, you know. Say, man, you know, you get with dude, man, to get me, and he's the one that actually trying to get you. But that's because, man, uneducated, man. They playing games out there in the street, don't know the game they playing. You even be out there, the most ruthless people that I ever met, they were smart people, man. Very smart people. But they were cold gentlemen, man. And people used to misread them all the time. Because everybody else on images, the one that talk loud, they think he's the gangster. But he's not the gangster. He's the most weakest person out of all of them. The person that's talking loud and talking all the time and saying what he gonna do, that's it. You see what I'm saying? But this humble dude, he would even speak to you in the morning, good morning. And he'll misread and say, man, that dude weak. Dude called killer. I'm telling you, because they don't know how to read. They actually do not know how to read human character. And that's what prison is all about. It teaches you how to read human nature. That's the ultimate lesson any man can get, or any human being can get. Be able to read human behavior. That man, that which is yourself, being able to read it, you're a very well-educated man. Because it gives you the guides and the navigation system to guide your way through life. Simple stuff. But important stuff. But it do take other education too. ABCs, all that. You know, it takes education period. And I said all that is said, that one sentence right there. And that, I don't know why, you know, that we are caught up on images and say, hell with education. We'll laugh at the one that, man, I'm going to school. You know, I'm going to school, we say, man, he punk. You know, all that other type of stuff. He weak. The culture is kicking in just like that. You know. But man, it's a culture. Hooked up on ignorance, man. You know, me and my lady, we was talking the other day. I talked to my brother like, you know, I talked to my brother, you know, on the same subjects, man. You know, it's a culture, man, right now for our youth. You know what our rite of passage is? Our rite of passage, man, is you a man if you go to prison. That's a right. We incorporated that as a rite of passage, man. I seen it firsthand, and I was part of it. That's how I know. You ain't nobody. You ain't nobody on the strip. You ain't nobody on the corner. You ain't nobody in our neighborhood. That's how far we done went down. That you ain't nobody unless you went to prison, man. All my buddies, all my friends, everybody I know. You know, he's in prison. Or got a prison number around him, a collar around his neck. You ain't nobody unless you went to prison. Now, something wrong with that picture. We didn't incorporate that as a rite of passage. If you didn't go to prison, you ain't nobody. Yeah, you can't be trusted, none of that. But what about, man, a kid that, man, going to school every day? You see what I'm saying? Went to high school, went to college, learned how to be a doctor, a scientist. You see what I'm saying? Something, some type of dentist, you know, or just a scientist that what they are, astrologists. What about them? You see what I'm saying? That's the man. But for some reason, man, in our culture, man, you know, we done laid that to the side, man, and went with the other saying, man, that's the true deal right there. And you ain't nobody unless you break and embrace that concept. That's where we at. So we still back to what? Education again. Education again. You know, so that's what I see to be transformed, has transformed. Even though I can't say that our generation was better than y'all's, you know, I'm definitely not going to say that. Because it wasn't. Because a lot of us, man, function off misinformation, disinformation, and information that we wanted to use and the information that we didn't want to use. So it's the same thing. But I can tell you this, though. You know, that educated factor, that factor alone kept us more in line. That will pass down to be recognized and understand, being conscious of the fact. See, it would pass down for our survival. More so say, man, hey, I don't care if you survive or not. I want that. It's pleasing to my eyes. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. You know, so.
Maybe you wrap up now.
Is it occur?
Yes. You became educated and knew or had a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
How did you indoctrinate that into your current actions?
It gave me a navigation system. It gave me the knowledge of who I was, opposed to who I am changing into. So once I got out, you know, it aided me in my transformation as we speak. Now, why I say that is that consciousness plays a very vital role on how a man might look at himself coming home from prison. Like for instance, you know, we still holding on to pride. We still holding on to false concepts. We don't want to let go. You know, understandings that's not true. You know, so most men come home, we got, now, in this day and age, you have agencies set up to aid the process for its transition, not just material. You know, the most vital aspect that a man needs when he come home is the support process of his mental faculties, man. Because that box, I don't care how you look at it, you know, that box, you know, whether it's a small box in a hole, like inside the institution or out on the compound, it's still a small box transit to a bigger box. It's still a box. And the things that goes on is not conducive for the human sight, man. It's not normal. It's not normal, man, to see, man, your arteries in your neck severe, man. You know, you laying on the floor, man, bleeding to death. It's not normal, man, to have somebody, to see somebody, man, straddle a dude's chest, man, and open his chest up, man, and just cut his heart on his chest, man. or some organ, you know, for that person doing it or the person just watching. It's not normal. But that behavior becomes a normal part of life. You become insensitive to it. So when a person makes a transition out here, it's vital, man. You gotta cut that loose. So how can you uproot all that was part of your own survival in the box that kept you alive? And just let that go and make that transition out here. You know, coming home from, we talking about long-term incarceration now. We talking about long-term prison. Because you dealing with people, man, been locked up all their life. It's a normal way to live. It's a normal way to see things like that. You know, dude laid something over in the corner, you know what I mean? Hey, man, you see how you did that? You know what I mean? And get a joke about it. And walk out the door, man, and step over, man. I mean, that's not normal, man. But it becomes normal after repetitious behavior. So once it becomes repetitive in your mind, you know, how can you cut that loose when you make a transition? That's what our people is up against, not the material. Yeah, they need help, material. I need help. But you got many organizations out there that's actually trying to help, but man, they're getting a buck off us, man. They're not actually, the more damaged we are, the more money they make. So they need us damaged. They need us damaged to make money. They don't care about actually our own transition. That's why I was saying earlier, education is the key, because man, a man has to take control of his own transition. He has to take charge of his own transition. He got to know what he wants, who he is, and the changes that he has to make in his life. Because once a person lives old enough, hey man, you done ducked all the daggers, done ducked all the bullets. So that's telling me something right there. You've been in prison, been in a lifestyle all your life. All your life. And your buddies out there with you, but you still here. You must know something. You still here. You see what I'm saying? So, but I say that to say this. Why not take that same educating factor that kept you alive and do it the right way? A lot of us can't catch on to that. That's experience, man. That's experience, information, you know, everything, understanding, you know, how to get through situations. So transition shouldn't be hard. I'm talking about mentally now. Should be hard. If a person got those lessons. But the lessons come from an educated factor though. He has to be humble enough towards himself. And believe me, man, you know, I'm struggling. I am. No, I'm not going to tell you, man, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. But I'm making it. I'm making it. Because you know what's kicking in? Every time I run up on that line like that, you know, and you know, the devil always goes in there, throw the towel in, man. Go ahead and throw the towel in, man. You ain't got nothing coming nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead and throw the towel in. But I'm just fighting that. You know, because I know it's false. I know by experience it's false. Those whispers, I know it's by experience. If you can go the extra mile and staying alive, man, you know what you can do? That's just like, man, swimming upstream, man. If you can stay alive swimming upstream, you know, the current coming down. And here I am swimming upstream and staying alive. You know, but I ain't sink and drown. Because I done ran out of energy and I drowned. Because it's hard swimming upstream. You know, why can't I use that same education, man? That same concept, the same understanding, and turn it into a positive? Because it's two in all the world, man. Negative and positive. I can take that same concept that I was using and understanding that I was using in a negative way and swim downstream. That means, man, I can flow with the current. When I get tired, man, the current just carry me. I can just ride the current. You know, when you get tired swimming upstream, you're going to drown, buddy. You don't have no more energy, you don't have no more air or nothing. You're going down. Because the force is against you, going against the force. Why not ride with the force? That's smart. That's educated. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm learning now. That's what I'm learning. But it's hard. It's really hard because I'm used to living a certain way. You know, certain languages. You know, I mean, certain communication methods. Up here, man, you get out. A person might, on the bus, our people is naturally aggressive. Naturally, we are aggressive. We talk aggressive, we cuss each other out, blah, 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 and don't mean nothing by it. We don't need nothing about it. That's how we is aggressive out here. You know, we might be on the corner, man, or going up the street, calling each other MS all day long. But man, on that pavement on the inside, that's fighting talk, that's death talk, man. You call me an MF or whatever, you see what I'm saying, man, go ahead and get the stuff, man, because I'm going to get mine. That's the difference. But you get used to, you see on the sensitive world, and take that as a part of every part and stand alive. And it takes a exceptional man to make the transition. When you cross over, man, you gotta let that go, but it's hard. So here it is, you got a person, man, you know, right there, talking aggressive, and cussing you out, cussing me out. You know, but he just expressing himself because that's how it's done now. And here it is, I just, oh yeah, you know, and before you know it, you're out of here. So I'm going on back. And you got, and so yeah, and you got guys actually, because they fight against that. They actually fight against that. They know the difference. But they say, man, I can't deal with that, man. I can't live out here like that. And kick the doors in going back. Because they won't let go. They don't know how. You see? And man, I recognize it because I'm fighting it every day. You know, little incidents, little stuff. You know, here it is, no. You know, I'm going like that. But little stuff, man. And it's hard. Yes, it's hard. When you talk about, man, somebody, man, you know, that even the sites, I wouldn't say, man, to spend, what, 50, 45 years on the inside? Hey, it's in the records. You know, say, man, you see what, like my brother said, man, they waiting. Because they already know, you know, and normally it's like that. So because I don't have no problem. I get myself ready, man. I'm going on back. Same way, man, when it was flushing it out with Murray, you know, say, man, I'll be back, man. You know, I'll be back, because I already know I ain't gonna last. Not how them jokers thinking I did, the population. You know, so I ain't gonna last. And come right back. Stay another 5 years. You know, 23 in, 1 out. It's the same thing with this. Guys coming home, man, doing 20, 25, 30, 35. People gone. Yeah, they did in the physical, but people's gone. You know, never got a letter, never got no money. And what you got, you made on your own, you know, in that box. Well, forget about it. That can go insensitive to that. Man, you ain't nobody to me. No, I'm your brother. No, you ain't. How's that? A brother don't leave a brother like that. To suffer like that. You know? But it ain't nothing wrong with him. Something wrong with me. Even thinking like that. Because you know why? Put myself there. You know? And that's another thing that a lot of men embrace, man. You know, they know. They put themselves there. Don't need no help. Don't want no help. I put myself there. That's how independent they are. And that same independence they using to make this transition, man. I don't need you. I ain't need you there. But I need you for that. The hard part is over. This is easy right here. If that understanding and that knowledge is put in this right place, it can be done. And that's what a lot of us is getting stuck on. Man, there's no way that I can tell myself that I cannot make the transition when I put in all that time. And ducked all them killings. You know what I mean? And ducked, and I'm still here to tell it. You know, that I can make a transition something that easy as that in comparison. I know I can do it. But it's hard though, because it's a psychological game and it plays heavy on the psyche. But that's man's mind working on himself. He's in charge of making sure that his faculties is in the right place so he can make the proper decisions for himself, to make a proper understanding for himself, and chart a proper course for his life. That man, he's responsible for that. So whatever he's responsible for, he can do that. You know, that's one thing they did me. They made me. And you know what? I thank them. You call yourself punishing me? No, you made me. Made me one of the best persons I could ever be. And smart. Very smart. You see what I'm saying? But, hey, those lessons you gave me, I appreciate you. Because you gave me a survival kit. In this transition, piece of cake. But it's hard. The same word, the same other, it was hard. Hey, but I survived. If I can survive that, man, ain't nothing out here that I can't survive. So man, it's hard, but a lot of us don't want to put the work in because it's about work. We ain't talking about getting up and getting a mop. We're not talking about it. We talking about, you know, checking yourself and exercise the faculty that we were created with, man. We was created with the faculty of understanding, knowledge, you see what the understanding, the ability to reason, and the ability to acquire knowledge. Those are the faculties our Creator gave us, man. But we are responsible about exercising those things for our betterment and for our welfare. Now, if I fail to exercise those things to make my life better the right way, I'm responsible. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, it comes from a factor of ignorance, man. And I can't blame nobody but me. Nobody. I was given in charge of who I am. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, why not exercise those faculties to make your life better? So it's hard, but it can be done. And with that in mind, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm doing good.
So to conclude, what's your overall goals?
My overall goals right now, I'm going to open up my business. And that's another thing that he trained me to do. Yeah. He ain't withhold that knowledge from me now. You know, my whole thing is, whatever you got to give me, call yourself, I'm taking it. You know, I have excelled, I taught in school. You know, I received my training and I taught too. I taught the HVAC. I taught the curriculum. You know what I mean?